Hey there. Okay, good evening, denizens of the world. This will be my first stab at a video review. Well, first of all, if you ever wondered where the good rock and roll go, well, here's the thing. It went to Sweden. It went to Sweden. This is Graveyard, ladies and gentlemen. The band is called Graveyard. The album is called Graveyard, so if we're cool with that, let's take a look at the inside here. From Gothenburg, Sweden. Here they are in all their Swedish glory. Yes. No, I think of Gothenburg. You're thinking of your favorite bands At the Gates, In Flames, and Dark Tranquillity. Well, it's just kind of like the same stuff here, except blues rock, heavy metal, hard rock, what have you. Some I'm digging as of late. Here as they merge onto the scene. First came across these guys while searching, listening to Witchcraft, Burning Saviors, Dead Man, native Swedish psychedelic rock, heavy metal, hard rock, stuff along that ilk. And I came across these guys here. What I'm drawn to here is the definitely the energy here, as well as the powerhouse blues vocals, as heard here. Can you hear it? Pretty excellent. And here comes the guitar solo. But seriously, excellent stuff in my opinion. Definitely, well, maybe not one of the most original or revolutionary acts to appear on the scene, but definitely one of rejuvenating rock and roll bands of our time. By the way, the first track called Evil Ways, not to be confused with Santana or Obituary Evil Ways, but this one's called Thin Line, as we enter kind of a jazzier atmosphere, in addition to our blues vibe here. You can see here, kind of a cream type of a sound on this track here. The vocals definitely staying true to the Swedish type of lineage here. Swedes are so friendly, aren't they? Even though they sound totally convicting on record. As a matter of fact, when I saw these guys live, when they opened up for CKY, their drummer, I believe, gave me the directions to their midnight show, which they played right after their performance, opening up for CKY. Left halfway through the CKY set, but definitely impressed by Graveyard. In fact, bought this album at the show. And yes, just another example of the powerful blues vocals here that I'm kind of drawn to here. Maybe Miss Dio. Rest in peace, Ronnie James Dio. As far as the sound goes, I mean, you got your, Black Sabbath sound, you got your Led Zeppelin, CCR, rather, CKY. Early Jethro Tull, 60s Jethro Tull, back when, during their first few albums before they went prog. And of course, I mean, Cream as well. It's totally rocking. Rock and roll. First, let's stop in the middle. Have a drink of Sprite. Back to Graveyard. Let's crank it up. By the way, the artwork is done by a deceased artist called by the name of Davis. I couldn't resist waving that artwork right in front of your faces at least one more time. It's called The Adolescent's Mordor, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but definitely a stellar contribution to the stellar first album by Graveyard. Again, more cream here. more slow rock and roll. It's like one of those albums you gotta sit down and listen to right in front of your fire, or when you're kind of thinking. Very spiritual in a way, in addition to just the straight up rock. And in fact, if I remember the sticker correctly, it even recommends, you know, they kind of draw their sound to Danzig and Soundgarden to a certain extent. That's if I'm remembering the sticker correctly, of course. Haha. But you know, as I'm winding this review down, if you enjoy this sound, if you enjoy new rock and roll, if you enjoy a breath of fresh air on what will be the rock and roll scene, Sweden's brand of rock and roll, in my opinion, will be the reinvention of rock and roll, exactly in the same way as England invented rock and roll back in the 1960s, and as well as, you know, Nature Boy Ric Flair and Stone Cold Steve Austin's contributions to their respective pro wrestling scenes. I gotta tip my hat to them. But nevertheless, if you enjoy this, I implore you to check out Graveyard, their album Graveyard. Yes, rock and roll is dying, but this kind of gives us hope here. And so, we bid you a good evening. We hope you enjoyed this album review. My first stab at an album review. We hope you didn't lose your lunch entirely. But if you did, we hope that it was to Graveyard. Graveyard, Sprite worthy. Peace. Hails. And good evening.